Good morning, guys. Welcome to day one at home teaching. I just wanted to go over a couple of things with you because I know I had some parents who were asking me questions about the work packets. So if your child stayed the entire day yesterday, or if you met me at the end of the day, then you had two packets. The first one, it was inside of a yellow folder like this, had lots of information in here. And then the other packet actually came from the district, and it looks something like this. At this point, the directive that we're getting from Mrs. Wilson, our principal, is that the yellow packet takes precedent over this packet here. This packet with the yellow is all of the information that the first grade teachers have put together for your child. It's the work that's most familiar with them. So this should be the easiest for them to complete and review. This packet, because it came from the district, might not be so familiar, and so if you feel like you want extra work for your child to do at home, then go to this resource and use it. This is not at this point a priority. If that changes, then I'll go ahead and message you guys as well. If you have any questions about the materials that are in here, simply reach out to me and I can answer those questions for you. I have a copy here at home as a reference. So I wanted to go over what was inside of the yellow packet. As you'll notice, there were these activities here that are the color-coded packets, and they're labeled by week. So this one's week 1 with the pink. The second one, you'll see the week right up here at the top, is week 2. That's the yellow one. And then the orange one is week 3. And I'll go into these in a little bit more detail, especially for week 1, since you guys are probably already started on this today. The other activities that you'll notice in that yellow folder were the My Shared Reading, Units 9 and 10, and you'll need this for the reading section on the actual weekly packet, so make sure that you're keeping these two together. The other things that I've also included in this were some just handwriting practice. If your child needs the additional practice, it's easy work for them to do, practicing their ABCs, just tracing carefully and neatly. And if you have any questions on these, always read the bottom section right here. That's where the directions come from if you're unsure of what you're supposed to be doing with those activities. And if you're still not sure, message me and I'll answer those questions. But I'm not going to go into detail with these, just not important for right now. So let's look at the pink packet. So for today, for reading, your child was supposed to read the story Almond Milk, and that's located on pages 2 and 3. And if you're wondering where you're finding that story, it's in the My Shared Reading. Okay, so pages 2 and 3. Here's Almond Milk. Just these two pages, pages 2 and 3. Your child's going to circle the words with the OW sound or OW sound. You're going to underline the verbs or words that show action in the story. So basically what I do is I tell students, if you can do it, then it's an action word. Can you many? No. Can you people? No. Can you drink? Yes. So that would be a verb. Can you and? No. Can you enjoy? Enjoy is an action word. And I would just continue going through and underlining all those verbs. And then you want to have your child put a detail next to any of the key details or important parts of the story. So many people drink and enjoy cow's milk. That might be an important part because we're talking about almond milk, and if they're talking about a reason why people may not drink almond milk, that might be an important reason you might want to keep going on and reading though. So once you're done doing those 3 activities, then you're done with this for today. And then you'll have to look under day 2, which is the very next column. I don't know if you guys can see it because the picture looks a little grainy on my end. This would be all of day 1's activities, which is labeled day 1 at the top. These would be day 2. And as you'll notice on day 2, you'll be referencing back to the story Almond Milk and doing different activities with the story. Okay? The other thing that your child is going to have to do after you do your reading section is they're going to be doing writing. And the writing directive is to write about a prompt, tell about a time, or tell about what you do in the morning time, and it says circle map. And I know a lot of you are probably going to be confused on that. Your child has had lots of experience with circle maps, and so I just want to show you what they should be doing. So inside of your packet, where did I put mine? Inside of your packet, you're going to notice that there's a circle map. You're going to have to locate it inside the packet, which looks like this. And this is our circle map, and this is where we kind of organize all of our writing ideas. So your child is supposed to write about what they do in the morning time. This is a personal narrative, and they're going to be sequencing these ideas using words such as first, next, then, and finally. So you can show this to them because we're talking about what we're doing in the morning time. The morning is our main idea, and we always put the main idea in the middle of our circle map. So this might look backwards to you, but it says morning on my end. And then I have them break their circle map into 4 sections: a straight line down, pick up your pen or pencil, and then straight line down and continue it that way. Same thing with the other side, break it into 4 pieces. And now that you have your 4 sections, your circle map is a little bit easier to brainstorm your 4 ideas that you're going to sequence of what you do in the morning time. So I always kind of model to students what I'm going to do in the morning time as an example. I don't want them copying this. This is just to get their ideas kind of flowing and moving in their brain before they put their ideas down into the flow map. So for Mrs. Rodriguez, the first thing that I do is I drink my coffee, and I'm sorry that it looks backwards to you guys if it does. The next thing I do is maybe I watch some TV. Then I brush my teeth, and finally I get dressed. So now that I have my 4 ideas onto my circle map, we would talk about what are some things that they do in the morning time that might differ, or some things might be the same for them. They can write their ideas. They can write either keywords or complete sentences. I find that it's better if they write complete sentences because when they transition and move over into a flow map, it's much easier. Normally at this point, we would color code it once they have all their ideas down. Don't even worry about color coding at this point. I don't want to complicate things for you guys. Once they have their ideas on their circle map for today, they're done with the writing section. Keep all the papers in your work packet together because we're going to be referencing this throughout the entire week. For the math facts, it's simply 1 math facts page. Your children do this weekly in the homework packet. Do not complete all the math facts for today. There's addition and subtraction. Just do 1 a day. Your child also needs to complete Go Math pages 13 and 14, which are located somewhere in this packet, so let me find mine. So the way that these packets are organized is it always has the lesson at the top, and the objective is to use pictures to add to. And there's an essential question: how do pictures show adding to? Here are the objectives, and these are the mathematical practices, which aren't too important, but just for reference, that's what they are. It says draw to show adding to and write how many there are. If you look down at the bottom, there's a little apple, and it gives the directions of what the teacher's supposed to say. We don't have students read this independently. This is something we read to them. They're listening, they're finding their information, and they're drawing what they need to draw inside the leaf. So this one says, read the following problem. Have children draw a picture to show the problem. There are 3 ladybugs on a leaf. And that's where your child would draw 3 ladybugs on a leaf. 2 more ladybugs join them. So now they have to add 2 more to the leaf. And it says, how many ladybugs are there? And here's your little frame right here. It says blank ladybugs. They write their answer there. They've met their objective using pictures to add to. So this is just the first introductory page to this lesson. And it continues. Now it has pictures for them. Write how many? 3 fish and 1 more fish. They write their answer. 4 bees and 4 more bees. They write their answer. 2 butterflies and 4 more butterflies, same thing. These ones, these Think Smarter problems, are typically a little bit harder. Your student might need a little bit more support based off of where they are at in their math skills. And this is the last page on it. It says color the birds to show how to solve. I believe we were doing up to page 16. Let me just double check because I don't want you guys to get confused if I'm telling you the wrong thing. Nope, you were only supposed to do 13 and 14. So front and back, that was it. All right, so I apologize. You already got some information for tomorrow. Same lesson is extended. All right. Don't forget that your child needs to complete at least 20 minutes of indoor physical activity. It could be outside as well if it's throwing the football around, riding your bicycle, whatever your child needs to do to burn off the extra energy, because I'm sure they're going to need those breaks outside to run around. I will also be posting some links of some of the different activities. So if it is a rainy day schedule and your child doesn't have their 20 minutes of PE activity inside, those might be other resources that you could use. In our classroom specifically, we use Go Noodle a lot of dancing videos. There's yoga in there. There's mindfulness, breathing exercises, just a lot of fun activities to keep your child engaged, and they're really, really fun. The other or optional work is the morning work. You'll notice that on this first page here, it has actual page numbers listed. For my class, do not pay attention to those because we actually were way ahead of the rest of first grade, and we completed so much more morning work this school year than them. And so these pages, for the most part, will be reviewed. So whatever pages are in your packet, just do one a day. Same as your child normally does. They might need more support in some of the areas than others. Every child's at a different pace in our classroom. So they can write their name. They can try to read this independently. If you have to read it to them, that's okay. Here's the question, and here are the answer choices. How many sounds are in, and then they have to say that word and then segment it by stretching it. So this is mummy, and the sounds would be e. 4 sounds, so they fill in the bubble 4. This arrow right here is pointing out a wing, so they would have to write the word wing, draw, and then they have to read it by sounding it out. I never read these for them. If they have difficulty, then I'll go ahead and help them. We always go over this together as a whole class. You can do it as they complete each one, if that's possible. They find the high frequency word that goes in the blank spot. This sentence needs some corrections here. I usually tell the students how many corrections need to be made, so that way as they're rewriting it on the line, they're not making those same mistakes, and they can kind of check their own work. Down here, write the missing equation for the fact family. I always tell them fact families have 4 facts in them. 2 are addition, 2 are subtraction, and they always have the same numbers in them. So I have 2 addition here and 1 subtraction there, so we know that it's a missing subtraction fact, and they have to put the parts and the whole number in the correct order. Has to make sense. Number 8, write all the related facts for the fact family. They're only using numbers 6, 4, and 10 on this one. If they're done with this and they'd like to write their numbers to 120, we're in the 4th quarter, which is now the expectation, then that's what we would want them to do in class. Okay, so I hope that explains day 1 at least. It'll follow a similar pattern, especially for reading, math, PE, and the morning work. The writing is going to change just a little bit throughout the week because after we have our circle map, we'll transition to a flow map. So I'll post more videos as the week goes on, so you guys can have any of your questions hopefully answered, and there's clarification around the expectations. If you guys have any questions, be sure to let me know. I will continue to post videos. I brought home a lot of curriculum today. I also brought home some storybooks and some other fun things that I can do just to let your child know that I'm thinking about them and that I'm really missing them. So I hope you guys are enjoying your day, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye.